Yeah, did I miss any topic on the basics? Have we gone through it? Did I miss anything?
I think all are covered.
All are covered, right? Perfect.
Mm.
Okay, so just a second. Okay.
Last time you told you will cover that GUI.
Yeah. I'm just taking the time. Just give me a minute. My Eclipse is loading. Just give me a second. Okay. My Eclipse is still loading. Just
No
a
issue. Also
second.
take your time. No issue.
Okay. I mean that I'll explain you in the whiteboard. Okay. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to you,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So now coming over here, if you see, second. Let me do- So today let's talk about the Java GUI. So what is this GUI and why we need it? Any idea?
Actually, with the help of, it's like an interface to the like system and to the user, or we can say to the outer world. So from using GUI, we can I mean from the GUI we can customize our things according to our requirement.
Okay.
Like
All right. All right. So now, yes. Coming over here, why we want this GUI? Now, if you see, we have a lot of web applications, right? So whenever you open, you can see a lot of web applications. Even your whiteboard is a web application, Facebook, Instagram. So we have a lot of web applications. Now, why this GUI? Why GUI when we have a web application? When we have a lot of web applications? Have you ever thought of that question?
yeah, this is required because see, from using GUI, instead of using complex commands and scripts or whatever we are input giving, we can use the GUI to create complex applications and the
Even in the web
buttons.
application also, you can create a complex application where you can have your text boxes, your buttons, everything you can have in your web application also. Let's say, for example, let's say like,
In the GUI, we will have charts, graphs, icon, images like.
here also we will grab icons, everything. Like, let me show you something like even Amazon, it's a web, Amazon is a web application. Okay, if this is a simple web application deployed on my system. This is also, we have buttons. We have an icons, everything we will have. Okay, so you can see like this is one of the application. Okay, so this is also a static web page. Have a beautiful one. Okay, so you have a buttons, you have icons, even you have image. You have an animation kind of a stuff also. Okay, you can also have your portfolio images. You can also have your portfolios with the help of AI. So like this kind of a thing. So which means you can go ahead with the web application, right? So why GUI? So now,
In this
yeah, any
GUI is like web pages are we can interact through browser, but these are the desktop applications, and using GUI, I mean the resources of any compute system can be better utilized, and
okay,
security and data breach uh,
all right. So
also
now, why we are going with
considering
this?
those
Okay,
things.
let me tell you why we are going with this graphical user interface. But basically, graphical interface, if you see, you're going to create a software with the buttons, text field, and windows. Now, coming over here, yes, of course, we have a web application. Okay, we have a web applications, a lot of web applications that we can create. So why we are going with the GUI? Now, if you want to create a software based application for your Windows OS, then we will go ahead with this Java GUI. Okay, even though web applications are widely used today, graphical user interface in desktop applications are still very important. The first thing is, let's see why GUI before we see what is GUI. Okay, I mean, let's see why we need it. Then we will go ahead with this. What is this? So now why we use, okay, why we use GUI applications? So instead of web applications, why we want to use? The first thing is like, if you want to make use of a web applications, okay. So for example, if I want to come and access my page, okay, even though it is on my GitHub repository, I hosted on my GitHub repository, it will be, if I want to access this, I need a network. I need a network, right? So when coming to the GUI, it's an offline access, right? It's an offline access, which means like I don't want any internet. No internet is required. Okay, no internet is required to access your GUI application. So for example, you can say your Word, Photoshop, calculator. So that works even with without a network, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Second one is the better performance and speed. So let's say like GUI application that runs faster because they don't rely on a web server or a network connection. Okay, they don't rely on any server. It will just run. It's a complete software, like how your WhatsApp, how your YouTube application, your mobile apps are there. The similar way it is going to be the application for your Windows OS. It's going to be like your Eclipse, it is going to be like your Word, it is going to be like your PowerPoint which you installed on your system. It's going to be like that. So coming over here, there is no rely on the network web server. Okay, so you and it will be have a good speed. Now coming to the web application, if you see web application that can be slow because of your internet. If your internet is very bad or the server is overloaded, your web applications will be very slow. Okay, and then coming over here to the third point, if you see, yes, high security. So which means like GUI application that store the data on your system only instead of the cloud. If you go ahead with the web application, so if you see web application like this, I stored these codes, I mean this application code in my GitHub repository. So GitHub, again, it's a cloud repository platform where my code is there. But now coming over here, if you see this application, which is a kind of application which is deployed on my system. So this can access without the internet also. So here, if you see the code of this is in my system itself. So which means like security part. Okay, so instead of the applications storing in the cloud, it will store the data in my system itself. And coming over here, web applications that are more vulnerable to hack since the data is stored on the online servers. For example, let's say like banking software. They use banking software which is used in the ATMs is a GUI application so that they can keep the transactions in a secure way.
Hmm.
Okay, all right. So then the fourth one, if you see, it's a full access system features. Full
Application
access,
features,
yeah.
we can say application features.
Sorry.
Application features, full access.
Ah, yeah. So now coming over here, your GI applications that can directly access the hardwares like your printers, USB drives, webcams, and any graphical cards. Yes. Okay. Your system features, your hard disk. Okay. All those things. But coming to the web application, if you see, the web application will have a limited access to the system feature because of the browser restrictions. Okay, so for example, let's say like okay, let's take a Photoshop. So Photoshop is one of the application which is provided by the Adobe. So they use GPU. GPU means graphics processing unit. So which means like graphics card. If you have a bit of, if you have a good graphics card, then you can edit the images. The images will be, you can have it in a high quality, so you can edit it, which is not possible in the web browser. Okay, then yes, so no browser dependency over here. Okay, no browser dependency. Now coming over here, if I want to run this application, I need any one of my browser, let it be a Chrome or Firefox or Edge. So web application that depends on the browser, and different browsers will behave differently. Your Chrome will different behavely, your Edge will behave differently. Even Edge and Internet Explorer, both are Microsoft product, but both are will behave differently. But coming over to the GUI, it is not like that. GUI applications run the same way on any computer without worrying about the browser compatibility. If, how it is working on my system, similar way it will work on your system. Okay, so that is over. And coming over here, the next point is more control over user experience. More control over user experience, which means GUI applications that allow more advanced UI design, user interface design, which like coming over here, while web apps, if you see, they are limited by the browser rules. So certain icons, if I wanted to use, that icons might not be supported by the browser, that might be supported by the Firefox. So like those things are there. But when coming to our GUI, it is not like that. Okay, it is not like that. Now when you want to use web applications, okay, now we say, I just said like why we use GUI applications when we have a lot of web applications. Okay, now when you want to use your web application, we have a lot of advantages in the GUI, but at the same time, some scenario we also want to go ahead with the web application. Even in our full stack journey also, after completing our GUI, we will be proceeding with the web applications, right? So in that scenario, when we want to choose the web application, when we want to choose the web application. Now, if your application needs internet connectivity, okay, if your application needs internet, and if your application that depends on the server, okay, some
One
data
second.
that has,
I have one question. This
yeah,
Java GUI, it's like a browser or this desktop application? Because there
it's a
is
desktop
difference.
application.
There is difference in desktop application and the browser applications. So,
Browser application, we call it as a web application. GUI, we call it as a desktop application, and GUI is completely a desktop application.
okay, GUI is not like we are accessing google.com. It's a GUI.
Uh-huh. This one you are talking like this kind of a thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is a web application.
This is web application also GUI also, eh? No?
GUI, it's like a, see, coming over here, when you say graphical user interface, okay, that is on your system application.
Oh, oh, oh.
Application which is on your system, we will call that as a GUI.
Like Zoom, we have Zoom application.
Zoom, kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah.
because that is
Zoom.
the application that will be installed on your system. Yes, that is a GUI. Which is running on your system is GUI application. Which is running on the browser, that is a web application.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and if you
But
want some, yeah,
web application and so you mean desktop application and GUI is the same thing, you mean?
yes.
Okay. I have little bit confusion in this actually, because see that is fine that web page google.com is web page we are accessing, but
See,
GUI
coming over
in
here, okay, let
you
me
know,
tell you.
some people
Let me explain you. When you have, I mean, when you have a doubt, and let me explain it. So now coming over to the desktop applications, your PowerPoint, your
no,
Word.
one second.
l-
One second. I am very clear about desktop application and web pages, but I have little confusion in this that as we say just now, you say that graphical user interface and desktop application are the same thing. And
See, when I say
I
like,
might be
okay,
wrong. I am not telling. I might be wrong, but I have little confusion in
okay,
this.
there, I mean, there is a slight difference only. Okay, what is the difference? Let me tell you. Okay, all right. Let me tell you first, but before to that, let's complete like what is graphical interface. Okay, graphical user interface. We didn't
Because
come to
see,
that, but
graphical interface can be in the browser also. So that is web application.
no,
So
no, no, no. That is, see, that we call it like a UI UX,
oh,
user
oh.
interface.
Yeah, yeah, that is user interface. Yeah, in browser.
Okay, all right. So that
Yeah.
we call it like a UI UX, we will say,
Okay.
where we will be dealing with the HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is coming with a graphical user interface, which means like your system will have a graphics card, your system will have some graphics. So based on that, how we are going to have our
So,
application.
you mean in the browser, let's suppose we are accessing some application, we are logging like for the Git, we are logging in the browser. So that is not GUI, that is UI only, you mean.
It's a UI. See, completely, this is completely a UI.
Git.com. Can you type git.com?
Git.com.
No, just type Google and search Git. Yeah.
It's git-sem. See, this
Mhm.
is the UI part, we will
They
say.
changed their domain now. Might be old one expired.
This is coming over here. If you see, this is the UI, user interface. Okay, user interface. Now, coming over here, if you see,
Window
uh,
GUI. This is it's written na Window GUI tarballs. So
Windows GUI.
this is
See,
GUI
I
client.
didn't
Yeah.
start. I didn't start exactly what is GUI. If I say you GUI, what exactly the GUI, then you will get an idea. I will show you. Though you said the Windows GUI, right? I will show you. Let me share. I think my entire screen is shared. I think. One second. Let me check this out. If not, I'll share my entire screen. Perfect. Now coming over here. You asked Windows GUI, right? Okay. Now coming
Like
over here.
we are logging to github.com. Na? Can you type
No, no, no.
github.com in Google?
Wait one second. Let you ask something. Let me complete it, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now coming over here, let me go with this document, or let me go with my downloads. Yeah, perfect. So now, if I say you ask GUI, now coming over here with the desktop applications, if you see, desktop applications are, I can say, like if I, for example, if I say AnyDesk is the application. I'm just trying to install, and it will come like this.
Yeah, this is desktop application. Yeah.
It's a application. Now coming over here with the GUI, how would your GUI means? Your calculator is an example of GUI.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is also desktop application. Correct.
it's a kind of a GUI. It's an example of your GUI, where you have your buttons, where you have your fields, where you can type or where you can enter something. Okay, that is okay. So with just like, I mean, now coming over here, GUI. Now let's say I have my Git install. So Git GUI. It's completely a different feel you'll have. See, just a small one, which has a menu. Okay, which has a menu, and then you can see like, I mean, you can see the repository like this options. Okay, and then if you say create new repository, you will have your repository. I mean, see, based on the selection, it was expanding. Now coming over here, if I say clone, It will ask me the source location where I want to clone and all those things. If I say open, it will come. Now coming over here, I have some Git repository over here. Let me open it. Not exactly here. Think, one second. I have my project files. Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay. I don't know where I kept my project files. Just give me a second. Even our workplace is there, right? Let me take this. Now, for example, if I say here, okay, let me say git bash here. So this comes git.
No, no. What you want to show me here?
Wait a second. I just want to show you the git GUI only. So when I have a git, okay, a local repository when I have, so this is what your GUI is. See, desktop application, it's a software program that runs on your system, okay, without a need of a web browser. GUI application is an application which provides a graphical interface like this, buttons, okay, like icons, okay, menus for your user interaction. So all these things will comes under the GUI. And your desktop
See,
application,
tell me.
your desktop application that can have both the GUI and also the CLI one. So now coming over here, if you see, we have a GUI for our Git. At the same time, your Git also has a terminal part. You have a terminal and also you have the GUI one for your web application. Okay, so for your desktop application, you can also have a command line and also you have a GUI. But coming over here with the coming over here with the GUI application, if you see, that always have graphical interface only.
So you mean this Git application is GUI application? Yeah, this is not desktop application. Yeah. So see, there is a slight difference in Git GUI application as well as desktop application also.
I said you right.
Can
See, there is a
yeah,
slight difference only.
yeah. Can
When you,
I share my
yeah, yeah.
screen?
Yes,
One
please.
second, just can you see?
Uh, just a second.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Now
See,
it is.
this is desktop application. This one, GitHub. This
This is a GitHub, okay, which we call it like a desktop GitHub. Okay,
yeah.
GitHub desktop.
Yeah.
So this is a GUI application.
Yeah, no, this is not GUI. This is desktop application. There is slight difference because see, that GUI is
See, when your application is linking with the internet, then that is not a GUI. When your application is having a connection with the internet, then that is an application.
so you mean when the connection is with internet, it's a GUI. If a connection is not with internet, then it's a desktop. Correct?
Okay, in simple words, if I wanted to say, if your application is dealing with your local system, then that is a GUI.
Dealing
Okay,
with local,
local, your system. See, for example, let's say
that is
I
GUI.
have
You mean that is GUI, eh?
GUI.
Okay, so this notebook is GUI. You mean it's not desktop application. Correct?
Uh, it will synchronize with the or net, right? Or one server. You can access this OneNote in the online also. See, the application, the data that is
No,
stored,
see,
that is,
one second. My very simple question is, I have this desktop application. I'm not telling we can access from GUI because see, every application has desktop version or GUI version as well as from CLI we can access. So I'm not telling for those things. Just I'm telling this. I have this notepad, like it's like Word, MS Word. So this is
notepad is a, okay, you go
GUI
ahead.
or this is a desktop application. Just want to know
Which one?
this notepad. This one, no, notebook, sorry, not notepad. This.
Notebook, right? So which is a Microsoft one, right? Can you access the data of your notebook online?
No, this is offline. This is like MS Word. Why to use? This is MS Word. Like like we are using MS Word
Well,
application,
yeah.
na?
In that case, if you open that on your system, then that is okay. That comes under the desktop application.
Yeah, yeah.
If
It's
you
not
open the
GUI.
same on the browser, then that comes under the web
GUI.
application.
Web application
Web
as well as
application.
GUI. We can say G. Huh? No, 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 not GUI. Web application only. Then what? This is desktop application, not GUI.
See,
Huh?
now coming over here. Okay,
No, no.
coming over
One
here.
second. One second. The only confusion is in GUI
See,
application
if
as well as
you like
desktop
simple words,
application.
see simple words. If you open the
Hmm.
application on the browser, then that is web application. Can you open the notepad on? I mean, can you open this OneNote on the
See,
OneNote
I
on the
don't have
browser?
any confusion in web application. Please,
See, I'm
just
telling you,
forget
your
that.
OneNote, if you open on the
The
system, that
only confusion is in between GUI as well as desktop
see, you're
application.
not getting the point, okay? See, you're not getting the point, seriously. Now, coming over here, if you
It,
see, if you open your OneNote on your system, that is desktop application.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you open the same OneNote on the browser, then that is web application.
that is fine. Yeah.
Okay, now coming over here with the GUI and coming over
Then
here,
what
I
about
just,
this? What about this application?
which application?
This just now I open, no? Can you see my screen?
You mean so they're like GitHub desktop, right?
Hmm.
Okay, GitHub desktop, say like GitHub desktop, if you see it, if you open that in your system, then that is desktop application. If you open that on the browser, then that is a web application.
Hmm. Then this is not GUI, na? This is desktop application. Correct?
This is a desktop application.
Yeah, so this application and the one application Git use was, I mean, functionality wise almost same, na? Or
Okay,
is there any
now let me
difference?
tell you.
So see, you understand my confusion because see, this application, this is
For
I
that
know this is
you
one
want me to
second.
speak, okay? You want me, I mean, you want to allow me to speak so that I can explain in a different way, so that I can make myself
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I can make myself you to be clear, right? So that is the point. Okay.
Mhm.
uh okay, so now have you went to the supermarket,
Yeah, yeah,
in the billing counter? Have you ever noticed?
yeah. They
Okay,
have
they will have some the
desktop
scanning part,
application.
and then
Yeah, some
that's a
billing
desktop
software will be
application.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so which will be running over online.
Yeah, of course, because they have interaction with the backend resources, so it's running online. That one.
Are you sure?
Sure, because see, something is interacting with the backend system, database, or something else, then of course it's having the internet connection or
Hmm. Okay,
no.
so now you got the point, right? If it is having an internet, okay, you can. So now let me say, what about your calcul?
See, not the we can say there will be connectivity. So connectivity means of course there will be internet or some kind of network will be there. So it's like online application. It's not offline.
Okay, in a simple words, if I wanted to say, if your application is having a button,
Hmm.
menu, okay, and then sort of drop down, like a fine, I mean, like a form kind of a stuff, that we call it like a GUI application.
But every application, you see, this desktop application also have a
Desktop
particular kind of thing.
application is like you will be installing that on your system, but GUI application you won't install on your system.
Yeah, that is the main difference.
Got it?
Yeah,
Okay,
desktop
you will.
application is something that need to be installation, but in GUI it's just login and just try to open and login. That's it. No need to
That's
install
it. Yes,
anything.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, your GUI
See,
application.
this
Hmm, go ahead. Go ahead.
but in desktop applications also there is category. See, this application, this is desktop application. This requires the internet connectivity if I want to operate something. And this there is one desktop application. This I shown you. This notebook. This is not required the internet connectivity. It's like, see, this is also desktop application. MS Word. Correct.
MSC, your certain desktop application is also a web application. Certain desktop application is also a GUI application. But coming over here, if you see, the main difference when we say purely GUI and purely desktop is like you
Mm.
install the application on your system, and that is your desktop application. You not install the application, that is the GUI. Now coming over here, Eclipse, what we use is in, do you think that we installed?
So my question is, in this Java GUI, which one is exact? This desktop application or that no, not require installation, just log in and like. So which one? This is not. This is Java application notebook or that one also? Both are Java application. You mean?
Now coming over here with the Java AWT, it is going to be a GUI application. GUI
Yeah.
application, which means you're not going to install anything. Okay,
Okay.
you're not going to install anything. Okay, you're just, I mean, which means like we are going to generate the GUI. Okay, we are going to generate the GUI, not the desktop application. Just we are going to over check it out. That's all. Clear?
Yeah, that is clear, but is this not the GUI? I mean, this is not the Java GUI, or this is different. Yeah, notebook is not Java GUI, correct. And what about this? This is
Your
also
screen is short. Stop, I mean, you stop share your screen.
that I shown you before GitHub, na? That repository. That is not Java based or Java GUI or different. Is this?
Okay, now coming over here with your GitHub, right? So GitHub, it's like I mean, it's a kind of both GUI and desktop application, we can say. If you install the desktop, I mean, if you install the GitHub desktop on your system, then it is a Git desktop application. And your GitHub desktop that provides a window kind of thing, right? When you showed that when you open the window, right?
Hmm.
Okay, that is GUI, where you can use Git so that you don't want to type the commands in the terminal. And at the same time, I said you it is a desktop application because you install the application on your system.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Yeah, let's continue. Oh, yeah.
clear?
Yeah.
See, if you're not clear with this, then I can't proceed. So
No, no,
let me,
it's a clear. It's okay. Fine.
are you sure?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now coming over here, okay. Okay, in that, even I, okay. Okay, so now let's see a sample of our AWT and Swing. So then it will be clear for you. So
Yeah.
now coming over here, let me give you a sample images for your GUI application. Hmm, I think I can share my screen. Does my screen is visible to you?
Yeah.
See, like this kind of a stuff that we will be creating. In the supermarkets, you might experience like this kind of a stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That is like a GUI application.
Yeah.
Now, if the same application, okay, is it's dealing with a server, in that case, okay, that will be like a desktop application. For example, I have this on, it is not installed, then that is GUI. If I the same thing, if I installed on my system, then that comes under my desktop application. So can you see the difference over here? And this GUI, Java GUI, that works only on the Windows system. You can make use of this Java, I mean, you can make use of this GUI only for the Windows system, not for any other.
It's not cross-platform. We cannot run on Linux or other.
No.
But Java is
Java,
cross-platform.
Java is a cross-platform where you can share the class files. Okay, but purely if you see, Java GUI is for the Windows system. Java GUI. Java GUI application is for Windows. Okay. If you have for example, let's say like your Linux, if you say that is a terminal one, but this GUI is a graphical interface. In the terminal, can you access this graphical user interface?
In terminal, not possible. Why? It's
Okay. Now coming to the Mac OS. If the Mac OS is having having the environment like this, like how we are accessing in the Windows, then that is possible. You can open your GUI on the Mac OS. If suppose if you are using the Mac OS is on the terminal, then that is not possible. Clear?
yeah.
Okay. Now coming over here, if you see, okay, I think let me talk about what is GUI, then that will also make you clear. What is GUI? So GUI is a graphical user interface. So it's a way for users to interact with the program. Okay, GUI is a way for users to interact with the program. Okay, and then we can say how you can interact with the program. So how you can interact with the program by using windows, buttons, icons, and menus like that. You can also say that in your OneNote, you also have this windows, you also have menus, you also have icons. Okay, but this comes under both the category, your GUI and at the same time desktop also. Okay, desktop also. Why desktop? Desktop means your OneNote is installed on your installed on your system. Okay, installed on your system. So that's the reason it is a desktop application. And at the same time, I said this is a GUI application as well because it has menus, it has windows, right? So it comes under the GUI as well. Now, instead of typing the commands in the terminal, okay, in the command prompt, you're going to, you're going to access with the window. That is what the graphical user interface. Now, coming over here, let me show you. Is this Explorer? It's a it's a desktop application or graphical interface.
Sorry, you asked some question.
Yes, you can see
Uh-huh.
the Explorer on your screen, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, this Explorer is a GUI or desktop application.
This is desktop application.
Explorer,
Explorer, Internet Explorer,
not this, your Windows Explorer.
Window Explorer.
I have menus, I have icons, I can open, I can select. I don't want any commands to open any of my files. Just I open the Explorer, Windows Explorer, and I'm having this. So will this comes under GUI or desktop?
Desktop.
Desktop.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what about this calculator?
This is also desktop application. GUI, we can say GUI. It's 1 second. Something that is. Mm,
GUI is
thi-
just a way of interacting with software, but
this
it
is
does not mean the software is only for desktops.
yeah. This is a desktop application.
Desktop application.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I leave this to you. You can refer and let me know whether this Windows Explorer, calculator, and then let's say a few more things. Let me give you Windows Explorer. Okay. More than if I say, if you refer, you will get an idea. MS Word, MS Excel, Okay, let's say like Adobe PDF. Okay,
I think
then
this
VLC.
when this calculator is GUI application.
Okay, all right. So you can select for, I mean, you can take these things and you can let me know tomorrow whether, I mean, what are the applications are GUI, what are the applications are desktop. Okay, you can give me tomorrow, not a problem. Okay, so now, yes,
VLC player is GUI application, and this
you
Adobe.
refer it, you take your time, you take your time and refer and let me know in the tomorrow session.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now coming over here. So if a software, okay, software with the buttons, text field, windows, so you have interacted with the graphical user interface. And now in Java, you can create these interface with the two main libraries. Okay, with the two main libraries. So you can say like GUI, with the two main libraries, you can create the same graphical interface in the Java. What are the two main libraries that we are going to deal with? The first one is AWT and the second one is Swing. Now coming over here with the AWT, the full form of the AWT is Abstract Window Toolkit. Abstract Window Toolkit is what the AWT. And what about the Swing? And coming over here with the AWT, if you see, this is the older and simpler framework. Older and simpler framework. Now coming over here with the Swing, if you see, it is a modern framework. Okay, it has a modern and feature-rich look, we can say. Feature-rich toolkit. Now coming over here, let's talk about the AWT now. Okay, let's talk about the AWT. Now coming over here with the AWT, if you see, AWT was the first GUI toolkit in Java. So your first GUI toolkit in Java is AWT. It provides the basic components like buttons, windows, text fields, okay, drop downs, whatever you want. However, this AWT that depends on the operating system. Okay, it depends upon the operating system, which means if you have the user interface, okay, if you have this graphical user interface OS, then AWT will run on that. Okay, now we do have a components. We do have some key components for this AWT. What are the key components and how it works? Let's see. The first one is frame basic. Frame, which means like your frame this one. The main window is what the frame over here. The main window is what we call it like 1 second. The main window, we call it like a frame. Then we have buttons. Okay, a button that is a clickable button, we can say a clickable button. So let's say like you can have a button like this. Button. Then you will be having a next one, you'll be having a label which displays the text. Okay, which displays the text. Now let's say like I can write it over here. Okay. Yeah. So display text, your username, password is a display text. Now coming over here. The next one is text field. Text field means it allows the user to enter the text. It allows the user to enter the text, which we can also call it like an input. Okay, which we can call it like a input. Okay, so how it comes, let's say like okay, and then coming over here this one. Okay, so your username, password is the label, and these two boxes are text field, and this button and this main frame is the, I mean, main window is the frame. And now you can have the checkboxes. Checkbox. It's a kind of a tick box, we can say. Okay, checkbox, it's kind of a tick box. So let me say like, okay, so here you can say a small box. One more small text. Yes. So either coming over here, either you can go ahead and have the checkpoint like this. Okay. Then you have the panel. Okay. You have the panel. So which means like where you can group the components. Group the components together. This is what. Okay. AWT. So this is how it looks. Okay. Now let me show you the sample. Okay. Let me show you the sample, like how we can create this kind of AWT, okay, in the Java. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, one second. Let me close this unwanted. Now, okay, maybe I'm going to do with AWT. Okay, now let me see. Create one class file. It's AWT. Okay, let's have a basic AWT. Okay, and coming over here, yes, I need this particular one. This time I don't want my console. Okay. Now coming over here, if you see your AWT that comes with a package. Okay, your AWT that comes with a package. What package? Okay, so let's say. So now I'm going to have one more class over here. Class, let's say like a AWT app. And I'm going to call this AWT. Okay, and one class is fine. Let me take off. Or inside itself, we will do it better. I don't want you to confuse. So now coming over here, let me have one method over here. Okay, let me say like simple AWT app. Okay, simple AWT app. Okay, and then yes. Now coming over here, what I'm going to do is, or let's make it as, okay, let me make it as a constructor. Okay, In this, I'm going to have a frame. So first, how it comes. So first, it will come with the frame, then button. Okay. Then once you create a button, you want to add it to the frame. Okay. Whatever you are creating, you want to add it to the frame, then only it will get appended on your frame. Otherwise, your frame will be separate. Okay. Now let me show you. So frame that comes with the package java.awt. Okay. Java.awt is the package. So you can see a frame is the top level window with a title and a border. Okay, title and a border. So now if I select this frame, you can see it comes with a java.awt package. Okay, so now what I can do, I can simply say that now
Mm.
this
Why
package
you
is not
remove that frame?
accessible. Okay, now coming over here, frame means it will go only with the frame. Okay, it will go only with the frame. But when I say star, what are the features inside this AWT is there? Everything will be accessible. That is what. Okay, so now once again you can see here, right? AWT.color, data transfer, desktop. See, these things are there, right? So I don't want it to, I don't want it to, what you can say, like say one by one again and again. I can directly say java.awt.start. When I say start, that refers to the all. Okay, that refers to the all. Is that is clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so now yes, coming over here,
But why it is giving error?
it says like the frame is not accessible, the package. Okay, so let me see one second. So frame, the package is not accessible. Just
Why?
give me a second. Okay, so let me check my Java version. 1 minute. Java 17. Okay, all right. So coming over here, if you see Java 17, right?
Java
So
17 is okay. This is recommended version actually.
mhm. So like coming over here, JDK 9 or later, if you see, like Java AWT is a part of your desktop model. Okay, so which means like you want explicitly, you have to include that. Okay, so you have to explicitly include that. You're going to make use of it. Let me check 1 minute.
See, if you have
References.
installed JDK, then everything is covered, I think, yeah? If I'm not wrong.
1 second. 1 second. Let me check. JDK 17 is what I installed. Okay, so coming over here, JDK 17 is what? Let me add a standard one. Let's see, GRA. 1 second. So I'm using Java JDK 17 only. I don't have any other version. So it's there. 1 second. Let me 1 minute. The Okay, let me check. Okay. So like this in the model info, we have to mention that I need Java. I mean, I need, like you can say over here, right? Here you have to say requires Java dot desktop. You have to mention this. So this
Yeah,
will
yeah, yeah,
ensure
yeah, yeah.
that you will be having the AWT. So
Yeah,
now we can see the
like
error got
frame. Yeah, yeah,
disappeared.
yeah. We have to mention. Yeah.
But still, let me
That
try
is
with here
what
also.
I was supposed to tell you, but I
No, no, no. I just
what
wanted to
was it?
try whether this is also possible or not. Okay, because it's been AWT, it's been many years I used it. Okay,
Okay.
so it's
But I
been like,
think with the when we are using that star or asterisk, that time it should not come. Error should not come. Why it is coming? Because it's covering every package. I mean all.
I just want to check. So yeah, again, it is coming in a day. Okay, we have to, I mean, add it in the this one. Okay, all right. Now let's go ahead. So in the module info file, we can say that I need a regular Java desktop. So now coming over here, it is there. So now first we have to add a frame. So, okay, and then you want to provide a name for it. Okay, you want to provide a name for it. So let's say the frame has frame only equal to new frame. And here you in this frame, if you see a empty one, then your frame will be of no title. Okay, your frame will be of no title. Okay, now suppose if you want a title, then you have to say that. Okay, so let's like a demo GUI. It got terminated, nothing is visible, right? You can see it is running and it is. So what you have to do is you have to say frame dot visible. So you want to make the frame to be visible. Okay, you have to set the visible and true. If you say true, you can see your frame. Now let me set the size also for that. Frame dot set size. Okay, so let me say like 400 comma 400. Then let me say, yeah, let me check it out. Did I missing anything because nothing is popping up? Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't create an object or anything over here. So without that, I'm just executing it. Now I think you will get it. I'll just knock it off. So it is terminated. Now let me say is set visible. Something it came and went. Okay, I have here. Okay, I think on my another screen it came. One second, I am just let me stop. Let me close this. Okay. Now, if I execute it, okay, I will get a like this. It is visible now. Now, if I say frame dot, let's say like the size, okay, set size, and let me say like 400 comma 400. Okay, let me say 400 comma 400. So which means like my frame will be of 400 comma 400. You can see this is the name. Okay, this is the name. You can see the side screen, right? Over here. Can you see the side screen?
Hmm.
So this is the frame. Okay, in this we have a title. Now let's go ahead and create a button for this. Okay, let's try to create the button labels for this. Okay, so in order to create a button, you have to say button. Directly you can say button over here. Okay, so how you can say here, you can say button. Again, button that comes with a AWT. So what I do, instead of going with one by one, if I say start, that will cover all. I can use button, I can use label, I can use text, everything I can. But here the toughest part is, it might be a toughest, but what you have to do is in the frame, you have to locate the size. I mean, you have to locate the pointer. Now I want the button, where I want the button to be placed, which means, I'm sorry, here this is my frame. Let's say this is like 400 and this is 400. I'm sorry. Now, where I want to place the button. Okay, where I want to place the button. Let me say like, if I have like this. Okay, so let's say this is the graph. Okay, so now here I'm having my box frame. So let's say this is 0, and I mean this is 0, and this side you have 200, and this side you have 200. Similarly on the top. Okay, now if you want button exactly over here to be placed, then what is the size? I mean, which location, that x comma y you want to give. So this part we have to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. So when you come over here with a 400 cross 400, or you can say any other size, you can say 800 comma 600 as your frame size. The thing is, in that particular frame, where you want to locate your elements. For example, if I want the button at the bottom.
Actually, your voice is now it's clear.
Okay, fine. Okay, so in your frame, where you want to locate your button, which means like you want to give your X and Y point of that. So now let me say, okay, I want to set the position, and at the same time, I want to say the size of my button as well. Okay, it will carry four terms. Let me say, okay, button equal to button equal to new button. Okay, now here I'm not giving a name for it as of now. Okay, button dot, you have set bounds. You can see set bounds that take 4 values. I said you right. The first and second value will be the x and y position. Third and fourth will be the width and the height of this. Okay, width and height. So if you take this where you want it, for example, let me say like 100. So for 400, the center point, let me say like 200 comma 200. Size, let me say like 100 comma 100, which means like 100 width and 100 height I wanted. Now once I create the button, okay, once I create the button, if you go ahead and run, it won't be visible for you. The button won't be visible on the frame. Instead, what will happen, if you have the button, okay, if you have the button, okay, then you have to add it to the frame. You have to add it to the frame. So let's say like frame dot add. So you can see the component is there, right? You want to add it, button. So once you add, then only it will be visible on your visible on your, frame. Now coming over here, one second. It's not opening then. It is not opening properly. Mine. Okay, so let's see more on this and then we'll come back. Now, let's see. Okay, similarly, let's add the label. I'll add all the things and then I will show you. Label, and let's say like I want first name equal to new label. Okay, so over here I will provide the name as a submit. Okay, here I will provide the name as first name. Okay, first name. Now here, if I want to locate it, so let's say like first name dot set bounds. First name dot set bounds. Let me say like 20, 20, 100, 100. Now once I set, I wanted to add it to my frame. So again, frame dot add first name. Okay, frame dot first name. Can you see over here? First name, submit. You can see the size over here. So if it feel like the size is more, you can go ahead and reduce it. Okay, you can go ahead and reduce it. Just imagine that I'm not providing a name over here. Okay, I'm not providing a name. Now what happens? Close it and then start it. It always come at the top corner only, top corner, left corner. So you can see here. Okay, without name it is appearing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give the name over here, submit, and the size. Okay, I'm going to set the size over here. Let me say like I don't want too broad. So let me say 80 and let me say this as 30. So you have to set the size accordingly. That is the difficult part over here. Okay, that is the difficult part over here. So you can see submit button. Submit button is covering the all, right? Submit is covering the all. So you have to change accordingly. Okay, so you have to say accordingly, you have to do this. So now let's create the form like this. Okay, let's create the form like this. I want the label, username, password. Okay, let's, as of now, gender we ignore. Just let's say labels and the text boxes and the button. Let's try to create it. Okay, let's try to create it now. Okay, so
I think you are already creating, na? You want me to create as a homework?
I will create and show you. And you want me to create, I will create. If you wanted to create at your end, yes, you can create it as a homework.
Yeah, fine. So I think in the now second that last name, or we can say
Hmm.
it's still pending.
Okay, so let
Label
me say
last
like
name equal to
label
label.
last name equal to new label last name. Then last name dot set bounds. Okay, and then over here, let's say 20
So
comma.
for this Java GUI application, we need to we have to create this GUI application with the help of programming.
Yes, with the help of programming.
Yeah.
Okay, so here let me set the size as
I thought
300.
something is in browser is there, so from there we can.
No. Here it's completely a code only. You have to write the code and you have to process it.
Okay.
And yeah, and then coming over here, yeah, you're talking about low code and no code, I think so. That comes with the Microsoft tools. Okay, let me set this position. I'm just giving a randomly number. Let's see how it works. Okay. And then last name also, let me say, okay, only the height I am wearing it. Okay. Then what I will do? First, I will add all the components. Then I will add all the things on my frame. So if you give like that, it will be easy for you to go through. So I'll bring the button at the last. Okay, so now, so let's see. Okay, so first name, last name. Okay, and then you want the label corresponding text field also, you want it, right? So for that, let's say like text. Okay, so text area is there, text field is there. So text, you can see whenever I select, you can see the difference on the this bar. Okay, so when you say text component, it is like a huge one. Okay, if you go with the text field, okay, it is like a simple box. Okay, so select the text field. So let me say like f name tf. Okay, equal to new text field, and then f name, let me say dot set bounds. Okay, over here let me say I want it on the same first name, it's starting on the 50. So let me say over here as 120, 50, and then 100, 20. Similarly, I will create for the next one. This is last name. For the last name, this should be 80 and let it be 120. So first name, last name labels are there, then button is there. If you want a reset button, yes, you can go ahead with the reset button also. So here you can say reset, and here you can say submit button,
So
and
this application you created, you can use in mobile also, or it says this is for window application only.
this is for the Windows application only.
Okay.
Now, if you want a mobile application, yes, we can do that also, but for that we wanted a different Java version. Okay, so
Java
we can.
version, or we need to use different ID like some Android Studio or something.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay. All right. So in that case, you can create Android application also with the help of the
On
Eclipse.
mobile, I think on mobile Android only application, Android application. Nowadays only Android applications are there, na? Because in Android phone we will have Android application only. So we cannot create from this, or we can create also from this, that Android application, mobile application.
Android applications, if you see, for that Java is the base. Okay.
So Java
And
is the base, but see, I am asking, my question is, we can, this is also Java that we are studying right now. So from here, this ID, we can create the Android application. It's possible.
see, Android is built on the Java libraries. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Your Java is completely support for the Android application. You can create it with the help of the Java, but that will come with a different syntax, different format. You can create, but that will be a different.
Okay, please continue. No issue.
For that, you need a version that is J2ME. J2ME. J2SE is for software. J2EE is for enterprise, and you have J2ME. That is like a mobile enterprise, like that micro edition, we will say. That is for your mobile devices. Okay, so you have J2SE, J2EE, and then J2ME. SE is for software. EE is for enterprise. Enterprise means the web applications. ME is for the micro edition. That is like your mobile devices or embedded systems like that. Okay.
So this application, can you please run this program?
Yeah, sure. Let me add it. Submit button. Frame dot add
First
reset
name,
button.
last name, reset.
Actually, adding all those things, right? Even I hate this AWT for typing all these spam commands.
What is this TF? Text field.
Yeah,
Okay.
text field, that is the name I have given. Okay, let me run. I wish it should come in the normal place, I think. Okay, submit button and reset button. It is coming with the same points. Let me change it. So it should be on the same Y. Let me say this I will give 120 and this I will say 160. 200 is much. Yeah. Let's run this. Okay, so submit button. Did I miss anything? Why for reset alone it is coming like this?
Can you click on the submit? Can you put A first name AB CT?
Just create the outline.
Create one more display or something. Submit. When we are submitting, it should no need for display. It's like database. It's inserting somewhere.
See, this is the sample I have given you. Okay, there is a hierarchy also, how your hierarchy works and all those things. Okay, so when you create a AWT, if there are some packages also there in the Java AWT package, you have the components over here. If you want to go through the components, you can come over here and you can check the components over here. What are the components are allowed? You can see checkboxes are there.
Can you take
And
example of one component here?
which one?
Hey, whichever.
See, component of your label is also one of the component. Button is also
Okay.
one of the component. So that is what let me show you this. Okay, once again, if we search for AWT hierarchy, um, AWT hierarchy diagram. See, this one I wanted to show you. Let me take this particular one. The image. Come over here. So this particular one. Okay. You'll be creating an object. Okay, so now you have a button, you have a label, you have a checkbox, choice, list, container. So all these things, if you see, it is a component. Okay, and that component you can have, like, first you have a frame. Okay, and then that is a window, even a dialog. Let's select whether okay, cancel, we say, right? That is a dialog. So that is also a window. Okay, frame, dialog, it's a window. In the window you will have all those things, which is a component, and finally you will create an object for that. Okay, the component class, okay, stands like, let's say, like at the top of your hierarchy, we can say, which is the abstract class, which contains all the properties of your component, which is to be visible on the screen. And this component object, which contains the information about your let's say, like, the you can also have your you can also set your colors of your background also. Okay, and then coming over here, the containers, if you see, container, it's a component that contain other components like buttons, text field, labels. Okay, so container is a subclass for your component. Similarly, you have a panel. Panel is defined as a container. Your window and panel is a container. Okay, which means your panel can hold other components, but it does not contain a title bar, menu bar, or border. Your frame will have a title bar, but your applet will not have a border, or sorry, title bar. Or your frame can have a menu, but your applet will not have a menu. Okay, now coming to the window, if you see, window, again, it is a container, but this does not contain any border or a menu bar. It's a top level view, we can say. Okay, and yes, frame, if you see, frame, it's a subclass for the window. Okay, it can be defined as a container with the components whatever you have. Okay, with the components whatever you have. So now coming over here, if you
Then where is
wanted,
the dialogue in this? Dialogue
there
and
is the
frame?
dialogue.
No,
Okay,
no, where
dialogue.
in your program, where is dialogue?
I
Can
didn't create a dialogue. I didn't create a
dialogue
dialogue.
panel applet you have not created, na?
I
Just
didn't
only
create it. I
button
just
label,
it's a, just though we have started with our AW journey, AWT
frame
journey,
label and text field and button. That's it.
I just have the base one.
Okay. Can you take a little bit complex, like all with all these components just shown to me?
with all the components.
Yeah, with all the component I want, because I can see the example of each and every. I mean, in this program itself, you can edit and you can take the all these components, please, if possible. It's up to you. I just want to check. Yeah, it's up
Okay,
to you.
okay, okay. All right.
I'm just asking. It's up to
I
you.
it's okay. I can give out not a problem. And as I said, you right. So the toughest part is like I feel difficult in AWT figure it out the numbers, the position alone. So because you can see over here. So I have given the submit. Okay, so 20, 160. It is in the same point only. But coming over here, if you see reset is on at 1 point. So I feel that difficulty only. Okay, I will show you not a problem. Okay.
Oh,
So
see, we can adjust later, but I just want to see the how it is appearing on this and what we can do with the dialog applet and all these.
okay. All right. So you want the
Position does
checkbox.
not matter. We can adjust once we have created.
All right. Okay. So coming over here, let me see. 1 second. You want the checkboxes?
All these just soon you soon applet and this dialog and
Okay. You want the dialog also. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let me show you that dialog first. Okay. Let me see. Let me add it over here. So coming over here, you have several types of dialogues also. So model dialogue, modelless dialogue, message dialogue, input dialogue, like that. You have 4 types of dialogues. Let me tell you that here. So when coming to the dialogue, if you see, you have 4 types of dialogues. Okay. So the first one, if you see, 1 second. First one, if you see, you have model dialogue, and then you can say modelless dialogue, and then we have message dialogue, and then we have input dialogue. Model dialogue means it blocks other window until it's closed. Modelless means it allows you to interact with the other windows. Message dialog means it displays the message. Input dialog means it will take the user input. Model dialog, I said you, it will block other windows until it gets closed. For example, if you're opening something, some error message comes. It won't let you to close any other tab until you open the this one. For example, if for example, let me show you. Let's take environment variables. Okay. Now, coming over here, let's see this particular one. Okay, if I select this path and my edit is not coming. Okay, let me say edit. I can't go ahead and close the other stuff. Can you see? I'm just clicking on the cancel on my back window. It is not. So this until unless I say cancel of this and cancel this, then only it will work. But that is model dialog. Modelless dialog means even though a pop-up comes, you can interact with any other window. That is modelless. Message is like it will just display a message. Okay, so let's say like your order is placed successfully, like that. Input dialog means it will wait for, I mean, it will prompt for the user input. That is the input dialog. So
So
now what I
once we click the submit button and then something pop up appear like successful, unsuccessful, error or anything. So that is message dialog, correct?
exactly.
So it's example of dialog. So can
Mhm.
you just
Yeah, I will show you that. Okay, so let's say over here, let me say um, dialog. Okay, so dialog equal to new dialog, and let me say like coming over here. Hmm. So let me take this constructs and this one. Okay. So in this, I'm just going to say my dialog, and then I'm going to say true. True means it
other?
makes us a model.
Okay.
Okay. True means it makes us a model. Now coming over here. Okay. 1 second. Is undefined. Okay. Fine. I'll come to this a bit later. Let me say like dialog dot set size. Okay. Set
Dimension.
size. Okay, that is what. So let me say like 250, 150, something kind of a stuff. Let me use it, and then let me say like dialog dot set layout. Let me say set layout how it comes. Let me say like a new flow layout. I will say flow layout with a centered alignment. Okay, and then you want the components. If you want any components like the close, the messages, something like that, if you want, you can add it over here. For example, let me say label equal to new label, and let me say like this is a simple dialog. Let me say this is a simple dialog. Okay, now coming over here, let's say like button close button equal to new button of close. Okay, so now once you close it, it has to close. So for that you have to say action listener. So let's say like close button dot add action listener. So what event you're going to give? Action listener. So that I'm going to represent as E, and I'm going to make it as a dialog dot set visible of false. Then let's say like this label and the close button, I want to add it to the dialog. So let me say dialog dot add of label, and then dialog dot add of um, close button. Okay, and then yes, I want to show the dialog on the button click. Okay, so let's say like which button, let's say like submit button. All right, so I want to click on the submit button, so I want this dialog to be shown. So for that, what I'm going to do is, let me say like submit button dot add action listener. Again, I'm going to say uh, dialog um, dialog dot set visible. I'm going to make it as true. Now coming over here, okay, now let's say like this is there. Okay, then I have my okay, I have my frame. Okay, so let me say size. Okay, so everything is fine. Now coming over here. Okay, the style app is throwing an error. 1 second. So this part, this is throwing an error. So let me say this as new frame. I think that makes a sense. I think. Let me try to run this. Okay, now submit, and I got my dialog over here. And I cannot change this demo GUI because I said true over here. True is for model. Okay, so true is for model. Now coming over here, if I say close, it will be closed, then I will get it. Okay, if I say submit, I'll get this dialog. If I say close, it will be closed. Suppose if I say false over here, let me say if I say false over here. All right, now if I terminate and if I execute it, okay, I got here. Okay, now if I say submit, I will get a dialog. Okay, and I can come over here and I can modify anything because I made it as a model list. Okay, because I made it as a model list. Okay, is this is clear? So you can say close and you can say reset. So for reset, it came like a full one. So here you with this. Okay, dialog box is coming, right? So any other
Sorry,
dialog box? Is there any other you wanted?
can you submit just
Yeah,
it?
submit. It came right.
Can you enter something then submit, please?
Well, okay.
Enter. No, no.
One
Enter
second.
means first name, second name. Enter the text.
I didn't ask to do anything. I just gave if the
Yeah,
submit button is clicked,
appeared. It's
I want to
appeared.
say the visible.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
appeared. Can you just run again, please? One more time. Why it is taking so much time? Something now. ABCD.
See, not use because here I didn't say any other thing. I just say if the submit button is clicked, I'm not giving any modifications to check anything. I just if I click on the submit button, I want the dialog to be shown. That's all.
No, no. The question is, it is taking too long time to appear that this dialogue.
It is appeared on my another screen. Just I'm dragging and dropping it over here. That's it.
Can you close and submit again? Yeah, that's fine.
When it is opening for the first time, right? It is open on my another screen. So I just simply drag and drop it over here. Because of that,
Yeah,
it got
yeah, this is what I want to see. That's fine. What about the applet? Any example of applet? Possible.
okay. Let me show you. Wait. So let me create another file for that. Mm,
What is this?
The applet is a Java program. Okay, that will run inside a web browser or an applet viewer. Again, it is a GUI based program. Okay, which will have the, I mean, it is a part of your AWT package.
Okay.
Okay, so now let me say over here. So you can see here, right? It is a part of your AWT. Okay, graphics. So I'm saying G. Okay, G dot draw string. Let me say like hello, uh, hello world, and then I'm giving the size. Okay, then now what do you want to do? If you wanted to compile, okay, it is like what you can say like let me do this paint, or let me say 1 second. Just 1 minute. I'm just getting a keep on call. Just give me a I'm sorry, that was a emergency call. Yeah. All right. So now coming over here, let me say extends applet. Okay. So now coming over here, let me import the applet. Then I want to create a HTML file to load this applet. Okay, let me create a file. Index.html. Okay, so now let me say like HTML. Then let me say body. And then let me say applet. And then coming over here, I wanted to say code equal to my name of my applet. So let me say like it's applet demo. I want to give a class file, and you can say window. Sorry, let's say like a width equal to 300, and then height equal to like let's say like 150. So let me say this. Okay. Okay. All right. So now if you want to run the applet, okay. So for that, what you can do is you can simply say like, 1 second. And and on this location, just give me a second. So src AWT. Let me open here CMD. And let me see over here. Applet viewer applet.html. I'll do one thing. I'll just configure this applet viewer and then I'll show you the demo tomorrow. Okay, a lot of things are there. I'll just show you tomorrow. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll stop over here because of some family emergency. I have to rush out.
No issue,
Okay,
no issue.
so
Take your
applet
time.
I will show you the applet I'll show you tomorrow. Okay,
Can you drop the files that we
yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Mm, 1 second. Just the clips. Yeah, I have sent it. Can you have a look? It's
why
there. Three
not
files are
receive?
there.
Why not receive? Yeah, now it's okay.
So 3 files are there. We'll continue with this in the next session. Okay, so sorry, some family emergency. I have to rush out.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
1 second. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you
You
so
can drop,
much.
yeah. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
drop.
sure.
Hello, Sahil. Hello.